of a dubbed simulcast over the internet, or yeah, is that would that be possible or profitable?
Well, as far as language preference goes, Anime News Network caters to the hardcore anime fan who cares about the industry. So chances are, if you're that hardcore, you're probably into subs. But there's quite a few of our audience that enjoys the English version too. But we definitely see a strong preference for subtitles. I am told that is not the case with some of the other sites, especially the more mainstream sites like Hulu, that people tend to gravitate more towards dubs there. So I think the great debate rages on. But as far as whether dubs produced specifically for simulcast on the internet are viable or not, probably not yet, although they will be. Right now, for the vast majority of shows, the revenues are not going to be enough to make money after you pay for the very high cost of dubbing. I expect that to change as advertisers start discovering more of the value of online advertising with video content. But for now, I think it would probably be a good idea to try. It's hard to do production-wise, and there's a lot of logistical jumping through hoops required because Japan is used to working a certain way, and the American companies are not, especially people who make dubs. But I expect to see more of that in the future, and I expect it to become more viable.
If you don't mind, Kevi, obviously Naruto is a huge title, and he mentioned Hulu, and Naruto's up on quite a bit of sites. Have you seen that as well? How the customers online, are they different? How they act differently than the ones traditionally buying the DVDs?
We haven't been tracking it a lot. Of course, it's really early on in the game to know for sure. Again, split down the middle. There's the dub people, the sub people, and we just try and provide. We're trying to provide what we can as fast as we can. It's obviously faster and easier and cheaper to create the subs first. It takes months of work to produce dubbed content, and of course very expensive. So I don't see us doing that anytime soon, as far as like Naruto. But we are trying a model out where we put up some of the older Naruto episodes dubbed that we had already done for DVD. We're putting them up for a certain amount of time, and then taking them down, similar to like what Fox is doing with The Simpsons on Hulu and that sort of thing. So we're seeing how the reaction is to it. But again, fan reaction has been really good for the subtitles. So.
And Kun, I just imagine, because you have some shows that have both versions up on your site, so you've probably seen the behavior. I imagine subs are more popular on your site.
That's right. Our fans are definitely skewing more on the very passionate side. So they definitely prefer subs over dubs. But I think the second question of whether it's going to be feasible or not, there's already a company that's doing it. We broadcast Kurokami, which is a simulcast. And that show is dubbed in English. So it's definitely a bigger economic hurdle in that it costs a lot more to dub per episode. But I think for the really big shows, eventually that will be the case.
I believe we can... Technical difficulties. Okay. I believe we can move on to the next question, which is one that's probably on everybody's mind, and the reason why this entire digital distribution has begun is replacing fan subs. Is this having an effect on piracy? That's a question on a lot of people's minds. It's a lot of these shows that they're being streamed, but they're also being found on illegal sites to this day. I was wondering if you have any data or any inkling as to whether or not it's actually making an impact on piracy, or whether it's going to help your bottom line out. I know this is a sensitive area. Kevi, I know that Naruto was a title that was hugely pirated before it was being streamed, so I was curious if you had any insight on this at all. Sorry to put you on the spot.
Well, it's hard, obviously, to measure with quantifiable numbers. When we announced that we were going to start streaming Shippuden and Naruto, Databio graciously bowed out of doing the fan subs. So that was quite nice. That was quite nice, yes. And you know, we've seen a lot of really positive reaction. I think that by offering the licensed, legal, free, or subscription model, whatever you choose to watch, I think just people will accept that. People will seek that out. And we've got our content on so many mainstream providers, not just Hulu and Juiced, but iTunes, Xbox, PlayStation, Amazon. So we're really getting it out there to more of the mainstream outlets. And for Viz Media, it's a more important vehicle to get our product out to new fans, not just the hardcore anime fans or people who are already familiar with our content, but getting the new ones in and getting them interested and excited about the content.
I don't know if anyone else has an opinion on that.
So I think there are numbers that can be quantified. For example, ANN did do a study when Crunchyroll and Viz started simulcasting Naruto as a legal alternative. Something like the number of illegal downloads or streams went down by 70%.
74.
Oh, 74%.
I did that study.
So I think definitely by providing that legal option, but also equally important is educating the fans, letting them know that watching their favorite anime on legal distribution channels such as Crunchyroll and such as Viz is going to help the industry. And that's really just the bottom line. By watching it on legal channels, they're going to generate revenue for the licensors who are going to take that money and make new anime. And without that support, new animation won't happen.
I have to disagree with motivating the fans by doing the right thing. I just don't think that all of your fan sub submissions and that type of thing are being done by people who are interested in doing the right thing. They love the shows. They want to see the shows. I think when you let the fans know that there's a legitimate site and they can see the new titles coming and they know to expect it, they can anticipate that they won't go looking for the pirated stuff. They'll go to the places they know. And it's actually more attractive for the networks who are doing the distribution too, because then they can monetize it appropriately, make it more attractive for the rights holders. So
I agree, but we're also seeing an industry drop in pirated movies and entertainment properties because of all the other than anime. But we're also seeing, like Hulu's got a bunch of content distributed, and the industry seeing a decline in pirated stuff, or the popularity of pirates. It's not going to go away, probably never, but we are.
Okay, this next question applies probably to almost everybody on the panel. Mostly probably to Kuhn from Crunchyroll and Kebby from Viz. But how have you guys, your companies, been thinking about using these digital distribution platforms as sites, as platforms for selling merchandise, be it manga or any other merchandise that ties into the shows? Or is it being seen as a loss leader in some sense? Is that being seriously considered at your companies? I guess, Kuhn, if you could start.
Sure. So Crunchyroll being one of the digital distribution outlets, we definitely care a lot about merchandising. If you give fans that option, if they're watching their favorite show on Crunchyroll and they see that there's this additional thing, the merchandise or something they can buy, and they really like that show, then that's a really good lead gen. It's a really good way for them to get into that brand, to really engage deeper into that brand. And similarly, for the merchants, it's also a great way to put their products and have another outlet to distribute. So Crunchyroll, a big focus now is making our site into that huge platform that all the merchants can plug right into, so that they can immediately get their products out to the right audience.
Anyone else want to care to comment on this?
no, I agree. I think it's great. I think traditionally the media itself is really just a branding platform. So there's not really any click-through happening for